We are standing in the synagogue of the ancient city of Modiin, near the city of Modiin of our time. Here, in this place, started the rebellion of the Maccabees against the Greek Empire. King Antiochus IV, Antiochus Epiphanes, he wanted to enforce his decrees. He wanted to impose the Greek culture upon the Jewish people. And he prevented them from learning Torah, observing Shabbat. He decided to finish with the Jewish culture and with the Jewish religion. And here in the city of Modiin, Matityahu and his sons began the rebellion against the Greek Empire and against the religious decrees of Antiochus. The Greek officials, the Greek soldiers, came to the village of Modiin, and they built an altar right here near the synagogue, and they invited Matityahu, who was the priest of Modiin, to come and participate in the Greek ceremony. But Matityahu refused. This is what he said to the Greek soldiers. Matityahu said, "Even if all the nations in the kingdom of Antiochus hearken to him and abandon their traditions and customs and follow the path of the Greeks, I and my sons and my brothers will continue to walk in the ways of our forefathers and will not betray the covenant of our God. We dare not leave our Torah and our national tradition. We will follow and we will not hearken to the words of King Antiochus, for the God who dwells in heaven is our king." God is our king and not Antiochus. With these words, he went to the Greek soldiers and killed them because they tried to force him to participate in the ceremony. And after he killed the Greek soldiers, he stood on the altar and said, when the large crowd saw what Matityahu had done, they ran to the Greek soldiers and killed them, and then immediately destroyed the altar and the platform. Suddenly, silence overtook the scene. Matityahu stood upon the ruins of the altar and called out loudly and clearly, "Jews, we are going out to war. Whoever is zealous for the Torah, whoever is loyal to the covenant with our God, follow me to fight for our faith and for our Torah." With these words, he took his sons and few other Jews, left Modiin, and ran to the mountains of Bethel, north of Jerusalem. There, he, with his sons, began the rebellion and began fighting with the Greek army and with the Greek Empire. Come with me to the mountains of Bethel, and there we shall describe the first battle of Yehudah, and of course, the last words of Matityahu to his sons before he died. Come with me to the mountains of Bethel. The rebellion of the Maccabees began in the city of Modiin. We have been there. But the rebels, the Maccabees, could not stay there because the Greek army could function much better in the plains of Modiin, of the valley of Ayalon. What they did, they ran from Modiin to the mountains of Bethel. We are now on the mountain of Bethel, and to this place the Maccabees came, and here they hid in the caves which are located on the slopes of these mountains. Here was the headquarters, the center of the rebellion, not in Modiin but here in Bethel. Here, because of the life in the caves was very difficult, and Matityahu, the father of the Maccabees, he died here after few months in the caves. But before he died, he left a bidding to his sons, and this bidding gave them the strength, the motivation to continue the rebellion. This is what he said to them in his bidding. I'm reading from Hanukkah scroll, chapter 3. And thus he said to them in his last bidding, "My sons, be zealous for the Torah. Give your very souls for the sake of the covenant of your forefathers. Remember the actions of your fathers, how they gave their lives and brought salvation to their nation. Remember Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Remember Moshe and Pinchas. Remember Yoshua and Caleb. Remember David and Eliyahu. Remember Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Carefully reflect on the previous generations. Learn from them that one need not fear an evil man, even if he is strong and threatening. Our fathers trusted in God, and He came to their salvation." With these words, Matityahu died. But these words gave them the motivation and the strength to continue the rebellion from here, from the mountains of Bethel. After he died, Yehuda became the commander of the rebellion. And from here he went to all the battles, from the first battle to the 8th battle. Tomorrow we shall see the first battle of Yehuda, which took place here on the mountains of Bethel.